Hey guys, Radical Reggie back at you with another video with my good friend MetalJesusRocks. How's it going,
What's
bro?
What's up, dude?
Whoa.
This
is a bit different.
Yeah, this feels weird. This isn't my side of the couch.
Let's try one more time.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. I think we're back in like normal.
That was weird. We have so much power. We have to be careful with that.
Yeah. But hey, we got another pickups for you guys, so let's get right into it.
All right, dude, who goes first?
You go first, man.
All right. I'm excited to talk about this next game. It is Shadow of the Damned.
Oh, wow.
This is hella remastered on the PlayStation 5. Dude, did you ever play that on the Xbox 360 days?
Yeah, I played it on the PS3.
Okay.
And yeah, this game was ahead of its time.
Yes. It's such a cool game. It's a third-person action shooting game and adventure. Completely over the top. It reminds me of a Quentin Tarantino, grindhouse kind of game.
Exactly. You know, there's always one thing about this game that I always thought, like, hurt it back in the day, and I felt like it was the cover art. Like, the Japanese cover for this game would have helped sell it so much, dude. Like, if they went with that cover. The original color they went with, it's cool showing them with the gun and everything, but it just, like, doesn't really, like, pop. You know, this cover is cool, too, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that Japanese cover, guys, is really would have helped a lot.
I didn't know that. I loved this game back in the day. I thought it was fantastic. I was shocked to see that they're going to do a remastered version for modern consoles. It's not an amazing recreation of the game or anything. They basically converted, I believe, to the newer version of Unreal.
So it's running on Unreal 5 then?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. But it still looks like the old game, plays like the old game. I got sucked back into this when I picked it up for several hours because it's so funny, so over the top. It's so sick and wrong. Yeah, it's a really cool game. So I was very happy to get a copy of this.
Yeah, cool. A lot more people get to play it now, which is nice to know. So
very much so.
Very cool. Okay. First game I'm going to introduce here is a game you want to play alone, and that is Alone in the Dark.
Oh, okay.
This game really caught me by surprise. A very well done remake of the original game. And you get to play between two characters. I didn't know the original Alone in the Dark had a second playable protagonist in it. It's this woman. I forgot her name just now, but I
haven't played it. I mean, literally since the MS-DOS days. It's been forever.
Dude.
Yeah.
So Edward Carnby is back, and he's being played by the actor who played the sheriff in Stranger Things. I forgot his name.
Yeah. He's also in the Marvel movies. He's one of the superheroes. The Russian dude, right?
The Scarlet, the
Black Widow.
Black Widow's father or something.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, man, he does a good job playing Edward Carnby, and this game is a trip. You know, you go into this I don't want to call it an insane asylum, but it's a special place where people need extra help, and you end up going into these different dimensions of different areas. So you'll look outside on a terrace, and there's woods, and the next thing you know, it's a city out there, and it's all dark and eerie. So very cool game. The transitions into the dark world are awesome. I had fun playing it. I'm really sad that the game didn't sell like they wanted it to, because I think they disbanded the studio already, but they did a hell of a job on this game. I felt like if it didn't get delayed like it did, it would have kind of did better.
I mean, it is one of those franchises where old school gamers like us remember it. I remember they did a PS1 game as well.
That one was awesome. Long Dark,
And so it's been kind of. They also did a PS2 game too, didn't they?
That one sucked. That one was
It's kind of one of those franchises where it just hasn't quite.
Well, it's been thrown to so many different developers. They have their ideas. I think the guys who did the Alone in the Dark New Nightmare for PS1, that one in Dreamcast, that was a good game. They did a good job. They're the same people who did the Cold Fear series, a Cold Fear game, not series.
Oh, okay.
But this company who did this one did a good job. It just didn't sell well. So
okay,
but it's a good game.
I would like to check it out for sure. So okay, next up for me is a bit of a weird one. This was. I have a PlayStation VR 2, and I have very few games for it. I happened to see this. It was very cheap. I was like, sure, I'll pick it up. So what's it called? It's got a really funny name. It's got Captain Toonhead versus the Punks from Outer Space. So this is a PlayStation VR 2 game, and essentially what it is, it's a first-person tower defense game.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of cool. Like you basically are in first person, and you are cruising around on the battlefield, building up your defenses while your home base essentially, or you're trying to protect these little things from getting attacked, and you're bouncing around trying to gather those resources, build those defenses. And that's pretty much it. So it's very simple, but it's pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, I like the cover. Have you ever seen a series called Invincible?
Oh, because it was originally like a graphic novel, right?
Yeah. I brought it up because this guy on the cover looks like Omni-Man, like a Cyclops looking Omni-Man. But
that's funny. So just a random pickup of I need some more PlayStation VR2 games. Yeah. So if you guys got some suggestions, let me know down in the comments.
Right on. Okay, so next game here is Bramble, the Mountain King. Yeah, this game is insane. So I guess the best way to compare the game to compare this to, if you guys have played Little Nightmares, it's very similar to that. Okay. It has its own like folklore, but it's like you're trying to find your sister who gets kidnapped, and you're going through all these different environments. There's these trolls that stalk you, and there's other like this crazy like this guy who's playing the music or a harp or something like that, and he's chasing you through the river. You're trying to get to your sister, and you're dealing with all these enemies, but it's so eerie and trippy. And when they get you, they really they put it on you. So it's pretty violent scene. But the best way I can compare it is to Little Nightmares. Now I actually had an extra copy, and at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and I gave it to this guy, a fan of a channel named Billy. So Billy, if you're watching, man, I hope you beat the game already, because I told him all about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gave him a copy of it. So,
dude, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's a really cool game, man. Like it's definitely something that people should take interest in.
Okay.
It really. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. All right. This next one, I think you hooked me up with this, or it was sent to you to give to me, something like that. Feather.
Oh yeah, this is set by Potato. He got the signatures from the developers for these games for us. So
this is a trip. This is a trip. So basically, in this game, you're a bird, and they let you free on this island to explore it at your leisure.
Right.
And it's meant to be a very kind of chill game. There's not really, as far as I can tell, much to do in this other than explore this island, fly around. But it was really neat when I was playing it because suddenly other people were there as other birds.
Oh, so they could join? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kind of like Journey.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how you would be playing Journey,
and you see other people.
Yeah,
that was cool.
And you can chirp at people and fly around and dodge and that sort of stuff. And so this was a really interesting game because, again, it's not something I would normally probably buy for myself because you could easily get kind of bored with it. But if you are looking for something where you want to kind of lean back on the couch, relax, fly around, pretend you're a bird, it's actually pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool, man.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that. That's cool.
Okay, next game for me is Steel Assault. It's finally got a physical release. It was a bit tough for me to get used to this game, but once you get it down, it's actually pretty fun. Now, reason I take interest in this game is the sprite-based games are kind of like a throwback of the old school. Okay. And I was just waiting for it to get a physical release, and this game is freaking awesome. Man.
Really?
So definitely something I think a lot of people will want to play. Yeah.
Punch, whip, and zip line your way through a post-apocalyptic America.
Yep, and you got to utilize all your moves in this game, so yeah.
I've not heard of that. Okay,
yeah.
That's cool. All right, well, I'll be curious to know if you've heard of this Switch game here. Uh-oh. So this is, let me get the name straight, Grand Mountain Adventure Wonderlands. So it's my understanding that this started as a mobile game, and then they brought it over to the Switch and basically added a bunch of stuff. Obviously, there's no in-app purchases or anything like that. It's a snowboarding skiing game, and what's cool about it is that it's kind of like SSX Tricky, but just top-down.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're basically going, I think there's like 12 mountains in this game. It's quite big, and there's a bunch of different events, and you're skiing, snowboarding, doing tricks, going off of jumps, and basically just trying to conquer the mountain. And so I was very surprised how much I liked this game.
Right on.
Yeah, it's kind of tough in the beginning because you're not quite sure how to navigate it and stuff like that. But then you find out, I have to get on the chairlift. And then once you do that, you unlock fast travel and stuff like that. Okay. So, yeah, actually a pretty cool game. So, nice, yeah, and I guess they're going to do a sequel pretty soon. So, awesome. Hopefully more people will hear about it.
Yeah, and the sequel will get a physical release.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, next thing here, a little bit of horror. We have White Day Part 2.
White Day Part 2.
Yeah, so the first game, I believe that we did a pick us on a couple of years ago.
Familiar.
And, you know, it dealt with a guy like stuck in a school and dealing with these crazy janitors and beating them.
Why is it always school?
I know, right? But this one's kind of cool because it's episodic. Like, each episode is different. So the first episode, which I'm on right now still, some kind of like something happened at a school and you're doing an investigation and it gets pretty creepy. But the thing about this game is it's good survival horror, but it has a lot of weird puzzles that kind of break up the action, which I think is a little bit too much because, like, I don't want to deal with a bunch of locked doors in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, then you got to figure out this puzzle. Like, you got to have the pace go properly to keep you hooked on it. But other than that, I think it's a good game. And yeah, it's the complete edition because I guess they released it episodic as digital, but now it's done. So, you know, physical release.
Okay, cool. All right. Next up is a game that I believe you told me about. And that is a fantastic shooter called Rolling Gunner plus Overpower.
Yeah.
Dude.
Fun.
So basically what's great about this shooter is that if you play the Overpower version of it, it's kind of like a twin stick shooter. Essentially you're cruising your ship around, but also you have this little orb around you that you can kind of shoot off in every direction.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer. I mean, this is so much fun. So it's basically kind of like a bullet hell style game, but with that dual stick stuff going on. I love this game.
Yeah, you feel like you have all the options you need with this game. Like, you're taking care of enemies. They're coming behind you, in front of you. So that orb just really like helps you out a lot. So definitely glad you got this one, man. This is
dude, I was surprised how much I like this because it's hard, as you know, to impress us with shooters these days because we played a lot of them. But this one, I was like, wow, okay, I love this game.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
I just liked it. So next game here, this is kind of I call it like a Castlevania clone, but this is Super Zen Yura. Hopefully I pronounced it right.
Where the hell do you hear about this?
I know. Shout out to my buddy Joe Rad. I found out about this game because of him. And I was like, oh, let me look into this game. So
it's got a cool cover.
Yeah, Red Arts did that game. I feel like it's kind of like a parody of Castlevania, but it plays like a Castlevania game. But the only difference with this one is you're collecting keys to open doors. So you have to make sure you don't go off too far if there's a locked door or whatever, because the key might be around. So you kind of make your progress like that in some areas. But it is a lot of fun. It is somewhat punishing if you try to go through it too fast. But,
really?
It's definitely
that means a lot coming from you. You've got patience.
Right? I do. And it's got some traps in there that are tricky. But overall, it's a fun game. And hopefully more people will find out about it.
Well, including me. There you go. All right. Next up, I guess I probably should have did this in the last pickups video, but I forgot. So when we went to Norway, you basically asked me for one thing, and that was to find the PAL version of Demon Stone on the PlayStation 2. So there you go.
Dude, this is so awesome, dude. Look at this. You guys, I'm sorry, I'm fanboying right here, but this game is so cool. It came out to America, so don't worry. You know, it's not expensive, but this cover is just really what it should have been in America, even though some people prefer the American cover. But you got Ilias on the cover. You got the people he meets in here. This is Dungeons and Dragons. If you played like a Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers on PS2, it's by the same creators of that game, so you know what you're getting into with this one. This game is fantastic. Great story, great voice acting. I even quote this stuff in the game still. Like,
and by the way, on the top there, that's kroner. Is that kroner? It's the Norwegian currency. Okay. So I think it's like $8 in US. So yeah, it wasn't very expensive, but again, it was cool to find it because there wasn't a ton of copies for it. Actually, we had to look.
Really, really.
Yeah.
Dude, look at that art, man. Like, serious, look at that.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you. And then this one, I believe, was a donation from a friend of yours. That's right. Yeah, you had. Reggie had a team of people because he knew I was going to be in Norway, so he had a team of people looking out for stuff for him. And so this was one of them right here, which is the. It's a game you love.
Yeah, Chris, good looking out, man. So this is the Dreamfall chapters. This is a certain edition that was released on the PC, obviously, and you guys know I like the Longest Journey series. I pretty much have all the games. And Jeff, Smash TV, if you're watching, you still got to finish Dreamfall chapters. I'm not going to let you go on that one. But yeah, I like anything from that series pretty much. So Chris, thank you so much for this, man. This means a lot, man. Like, dude.
Good.
Yes.
Hauled it all the way back from Norway, so here you go. Sorry it's late.
Thank you. Good looking out for me, man. Like,
yes.
So pumped up. Yes. All right, so next game I want to show you guys here. I'm going to show two, but this is Grandia for the Sega Saturn, English translated.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people prefer the Saturn version over the PlayStation version. I don't know why. I feel like PlayStation version is superior. No, I'm just kidding. But
you are the PlayStation guy.
I know, right? Yeah. It's English translated, but it's in Japanese, and I guess there's some graphical differences between the two. So this one is considered the superior version. But I also got the Grandia HD Collection, which comes with the first game.
I heard about this.
And the second game. Now, a lot of people were kind of upset that they didn't include more games on it, but I think they're going to do a volume 2 of the Grandia games. It'll be a Grandia Extreme and Grandia 3. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure that's why those weren't on here. But yeah, the Grandia series, a good like turn-based RPG, really well done. Made by the same creators did the Lunar series, I believe. So yeah, I'm happy to have that. Yeah.
You've been getting some Sega Saturn games over the last year, I think, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool. Alrighty, next up for me, something completely different. Broforce.
I remember when we played this on the stream channel. Yeah.
And I saw this for the Switch. This was when we were in Ohio. They had a copy of this. And this one also comes with Broforce Forever, which is the update, which is the reason why I wanted to get it. So it's got a little bit of DLC in here. You know, this is one of the most fun co-op games you can play because it's just so silly, over the top. Stuff blows up all over the place. You blow each other up. You blow yourself up. It
should have been just called Broforce Forever because I like that title.
It's awesome, and all the different kind of bro characters. The
Bramble, Mr. T.
All of them. Chuck Norris, the Matrix. Neo. They're any action star from the last 30 years has probably got I got a cameo in here, so it's cool. So
very cool.
Very happy to get that.
Awesome. So next game here, this got leaked a couple years ago. This is Viewpoint 2064 for the Nintendo 64. So I don't know why this game got canceled years ago, but somebody had the ROM for it, and the game was, I don't know how much it was complete, but you could access all the levels in the game and play them. And I don't know why this game got canceled, but somebody got the information and put it on the cart, so I got it. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. So,
now, and you guys are seeing the footage here, so it's not an isometric. It's...
No. So it's kind of cool because this game has a different viewpoint. You see what I did there? But it's more of like a top-down. It kind of transitions to like a certain. It doesn't go isometric from what I've seen so far, but it has a variety of levels that are really cool looking, and I think this would have did well if it was released on the Nintendo 64 because it doesn't have a lot of shooter types.
Yeah, it doesn't. I know. It's funny. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I could think of was that Vanishing Earth one. It was called.
There was another unfinished N64 shooter. There? Yes, but it was like a top-down. I forget what it was called, but there wasn't many. You know.
Yeah, you're right about that. Handful. So yeah, man. So definitely cool. And if you guys are wondering where they got the box of manual from, Project Retro Games put this together, so very cool. So yeah, another reason to burst out the N64.
Yeah, all right, cool. All right, a couple months ago I was down in Vegas visiting my mom and family, and I stopped into Retro City Games.
Oh my God, the best game store I've ever been to.
I do really love this game store. Yeah. Actually, they've moved locations since a couple years ago, and so I went to this new location, which was even better. So walked in there, and he had a random big box PC game in there that I needed for my collection. This is the Commodore 64 version here of Ogre, and you know, when people ask me, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
In general, I'm looking for obscure big box PC games. Yeah. And by PC, I mean like, you know, Commodore, Atari, MS-DOS, all that sort of stuff.
And they have a bunch. I remember when I went there, I was blown away. Like, yeah.
He did, actually. To be quite honest, there was many more than this that I left behind because I was like, I can't mail my clothes back. I can't do that every trip.
Right.
But this is a really nice box. It's basically, it's a computer version of a board game and that they put out, you know, decades ago, and it's by Origin published it, Origin Systems, and I've been slowly building up my Origin collection, and so this is one of them I didn't have, and he had it there, so I had to pick it up.
Dude.
Yeah, and a cool cover too, right?
Definitely. The PC games had a lot of great covers. Like, seriously, they went a lot on the art. So.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I know. I love that store. I might go down next year and try to maybe do like a big tour of like all the different game stores again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, seriously. Okay, next game for me is Sin and Punishment for Nintendo 64. So this game only came out in Japan, but they did get an English translation recently. Well, I don't know recently how long ago, but you know, got put on the cart. I said I had to get it because I want my N64 that had the games, like certain games on it that I really like, and this is a game that I really like.
Yeah, this is a really good game.
Yeah, most people probably played Part 2 on the Wii, which is a great game.
Yeah.
But Part 1 is fun too, and definitely a unique running gun shooter in the 3D aspect, I would say. Like,
there's nothing quite like it. I mean, it's a Treasure game, and so Treasure always has that kind of flair to their games, where it's always a little bit something special about it.
Right.
And so, this is a really... I was late to coming to this as well. I played the Wii version first too, but coming back to this, once you kind of learn the controls, it's really good. So.
And they made this game specifically for the Nintendo 64 controller, so it feels just right for it.
Now, are you planning on picking up the upcoming analog, whatever the N64 console that they're making?
No, I didn't even know there was one coming out.
Yeah, so Analog is going to do the N64. They announced it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dude.
So the reason why I mention that is because that will be the perfect system to play a lot of these
games on.
Because they'll work on it. So, okay.
Yeah, possible. Yeah,
I have to look into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I'll find out new information.
Yeah. All right, another Switch game for me. This is by Super Rare, and it is Wargroove 1 and 2.
Nice.
And so this is a turn-based tactical game, very similar to like Advance Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it might be made by the same creators too. Not sure.
It has that kind of feel to it. Yeah, absolutely. And also too, it has a little bit of that kind of humor as well. So when you're playing through it, you know, there's times whenever the enemy will kind of kick and scream because they're all upset that they lost and stuff like that. But
very cool. So yeah, we got the first game in America on the PS4 I know of. I'm not sure about the second game, but I like how they put both games in one on here, which is outstanding. So it's super rare.
Yeah, and I've only played the first one so far, but really enjoyed it. You know, again, I actually like these kind of games. I really liked Advance Wars when it came out.
If a strategy RPG pulls you in, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's really fun. So yeah, that was a cool little find there. So
local online multiplayer, so you can play online.
We'll have to do that.
All right. So next game here, man, it's hard to choose, but you know, got plenty of games.
So much good stuff.
We got Operation Logic Bomb. So I was looking for this game for a couple years and I could not find a copy, at least for a good price. So what was funny was at the Portland show, we found a loose copy and the guy was overcharging for it. So I was possibly going to pick it up. I just wanted to look around at the show. And then the guy kept kind of pushing for me to buy. He could come and say, "Hey, you gonna buy that game?" I said, "I don't know yet." But what happened was my buddy Elvis, he went missing at the show because we were all hunting for games, and he was gone for a minute. And he came back and he found that game for me and he gifted it to me. So Elvis, if you're watching, man,
that's cool.
Good looking out, because he was with me when I first started looking for this game. And just to let you guys know, this is a sequel to a Game Boy game. It's called Fortified Field, I think. And
okay.
So a lot of people don't know this is a sequel to that game. So Operation Logic Bomb, definitely a cool game.
Wow.
Elvis, good looking out, brother.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
you need those people when you're at these expos. It's so easy to miss something.
Oh, it is. I mean, I don't even look as hard as I used to anymore because it's just it's more of a casual thing now.
It's also kind of overwhelming.
It is. It is. You get burnt out fast in these events. It's exciting, but it can burn you out. So be careful. But yeah. Cool.
All right, next up for me, I picked this up at PAX. This is Rocket Knight Adventures ReSparked.
Yes.
So, dude, there's 3 Rocket Knight games on here.
So you got Rocket Knight Adventures, a Sparkster for the Sega Genesis, then you got the Sparkster for Super Nintendo.
I love the fact that you know more about my pickups than I.
So I remember when this game first came out on Genesis, and I was mad because it didn't come out for Super Nintendo. That's between the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis Wars. Anybody remember that? But the game that's considered the best is the first game. It's just the animations for it.
Yeah,
the boss fight.
Beautiful.
It is a great looking game.
Yeah.
The second game is cool too, but I know a lot of people kind of just were. It was missing something. The first game.
They changed it up a little bit because control wise a little bit. I mean, to be honest, although even the first game, if you jump in, it's really weird. You don't know how to actually make your rocket go.
Exactly.
You don't realize you have to hold down the button to actually make that. Yeah, to charge it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Super Nintendo one, which is my favorite in the series, that one I like a lot, and it's more of a spin-off with the story and everything. But this is a great collection of games during a time when this type of game was just really popular. More the mascot era, I would say.
Yeah,
Sonic was really popular, Mario was popular, still popular to this day. But these guys were the ones trying to, get our attention, and they did. And I'm glad that they made this collector's edition for it because these games deserve to be played to this day. I don't want anybody to forget about Sparkster, Rocket Knight Adventures, great game. You can forget about the what was it? The one on PS3 and the one on
What?
The Xbox. Yeah, it was called just Rocket Knight, and it was kind of like it was made by a company. I forgot what they're called, but that one just didn't really feel right. So yeah, let's not talk about.
Whoa, I had no idea.
Yeah,
what don't you know?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the series, so I know most about this game. So I'm glad you picked it up. You're gonna like this one.
I'm excited to play it. So, all right, I guess it's your turn.
Yeah. So yeah, man, just randomly going through some stuff here, pumped up. So this is Trip World. This was a rare Game Boy game back in the day, and they decided to do a DX version, which is a color version of the game, which is outstanding. It's also available on the Game Boy Color via a limited run, or if you want to it's via limited run. Sorry, it had a DX on there, and it's a really short game, but it's short and sweet. It's definitely a fun game. I think a lot of people will like. I beat it my first time playing it, and it was an enjoyable experience and everything. And this version comes with like interviews and all kinds of extras with the creators and how they went through the game. So definitely something cool to have.
Wow, okay. It's interesting how Limited Run kind of dove into that market, right? Of finding some of these like lesser known games to publish.
Because this game was like super expensive. Like it was going for some money. Like you had to really you had to put a whole paycheck into it almost if you wanted to get a good copy. But yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, next up for me, another game that I do know something about, and that is Sonic and Shadow Generations. And so, I've been actually playing quite a bit of this. And so, I didn't play this back on, I think, the 360.
Yeah, PS3, I had those versions.
Yeah, but this is a really awesome game because it's a nice mix of the 3D and the 2D.
Old school, yeah. So
and it switches on the fly.
Yeah. You're playing as old school Sonic and new version Sonic, and they kind of intertwine with their storylines because there's a crazy hero. I mean, not hero, but an enemy they have to kind of go against. Yeah. And one of my favorite parts in this game is when you play as the younger Sonic and you go against the Metal Sonic in the race on the track. And cause Sonic CD is my favorite Sonic game, so that's why I brought that up. But definitely a cool game. Yes. The extra in this game is being able to play a Shadow storyline, so he has an extra story in this game.
And I guess that's the big carrot for it, is that there's an entire section that's all new, essentially. Yeah.
Exactly. So they brought it out right in time for the Sonic movie, right? Yeah. Cool.
But I've been really enjoying that on Switch.
Good.
So.
I'm glad you're liking this one. Awesome, man. Okay, so this randomly came in the mail, but this is from Retro Fighters, man. They sent me a PS4 controller, so definitely gonna be using this on my fighting games. I recently, one of my controllers broke for the PS4.
Oh, did it?
Dude, yeah, it was annoying. I was like, dude, I need another controller.
You're just too hardcore, man.
I guess so, man. That thing was cracked. I was like, dude, I have to get like a new shell or something for it, but I'm probably gonna forget about it now because this controller came in.
Yeah, I like their controllers a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
Dude. So they're actually doing like I believe like a GameCube wireless controller coming out soon. I can't remember. They sent pictures of it out. I remember on X, but
Hall effect technology, which is always good, so it won't have stick drift.
Excellent.
That is good. That right there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. They're reading your mind.
They are. So definitely really cool.
Okay, well, cool. All right, next up is a game. I know you know about this game.
What do you got?
Silent Hill 2.
Woo!
Yes, so this is on the PlayStation 5. I played this game. I beat this game, and with your
advice.
So Reggie made a suggestion. He's like, hey, every time you get hurt, just heal immediately. Don't, like, if you have the red around the border, just heal.
Don't let it linger too long.
Yeah, because you can play this game and you'll kind of start feeling a little bit better, and you don't have to do it, but you'll get the better ending if you do that and a couple other things. But
he got the leave ending his first time playing this game, which is awesome.
Thanks to you, because you gave me that advice, because I never would have, because it's a survival horror game, so you're like, you're trying to reserve all your resources.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's how you have to do it usually. So,
but this game is fantastic. It's gorgeous. Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. It's creepy. I loved it from beginning to end. No spoilers, but towards the end, I am going to just say that you're in this hotel and there's fire and destruction, and it looks stunning. And and that's just one part of this game. It was like, so much of it was really cool.
Yeah, I still remember playing the original back in the day, and a great experience. I got the water ending, so
I think a lot of people got that ending too, because if you don't know, you wouldn't know. But it's funny because when I finished this, I went and YouTube and I started watching all the endings and see what the options are. Dude, there's some whacked out endings.
There is some whacked out endings.
There's two endings
Two
here.
new ones.
Yeah, that are bonkers.
Yeah,
like,
but dude,
really,
like, it'll cause a depression if you get those endings because you play through the game. You're like,
I know, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, like
one of them you can kind of trigger on accident because it's not even really the ending.
Right,
you know
what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so I mean, I don't think most people would do that, but if you accidentally did that, you would trigger an ending that you'd be like, what the heck?
What's going on?
However, that said, yeah, I really enjoyed that game. It was fantastic.
I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
Right on. Hopefully they'll do
3.
Well, they can't do 3 because 3 is like a true sequel to Part 1. So they have to go back to Part 1, or they could do The Room, which was a game that deserves a remake. I just say The Room was pretty scary. But they got options, so we'll see what happens. All right, so next game here. This is Melfand Stories. And this game is a game I spotted years ago. It was on the cheap, but for some reason it got expensive. But so I wasn't gonna pay like $200 for a cart. But someone did an English translation on it, and then Project Retro put it on a physical cart for me. So
nice.
It's very similar. I could compare it to maybe something like Magic Sword, like a kid version of Magic Sword. But it's co-op, very cool, very colorful, and this game would have did well if it came to America. So, but now better late than never. Melfand Story is definitely something I think a lot of people will like. So Project Retro is killing it.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. All right, awesome. Next up for me is a game that was a blind purchase and not very expensive, just simply because I was like, what the heck is that? Future Unfolding on the PlayStation 4. Have you heard of this game?
No, it looks like some foxes attacking a dude, right? Like meditating.
So this is a pretty trippy game. So basically, this game starts you off in a forest, all by yourself, and essentially you just have to like survive and figure out what's going on. And so you move in the forest from the top-down view, and weird stuff starts happening. There is absolutely no instruction to this game at all. It's one of those games where you're just like, and then you'll stumble upon something that happens. You'll be like, you'll slowly start figuring out kind of like the environment and what's going on.
I mean, just look at it. It looks like it might be an acid trip, dude. Like, wow.
It is pretty. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's also one of those where if you get it cheap and you're looking for something kind of chill and a little bit different, you like puzzle games that don't hold your hand, this is going to be your game. It's really, and it's kind of, I wouldn't call it open world, but it's a forest, and so you can kind of go anywhere and everywhere you want, as long as the train lets you get there, and you'll unlock other stuff. Things will happen in it that will kind of open up a new area for you. It's really weird. So total, like, you know, what the heck is this? And it's not for everybody. I don't necessarily know if I love it, but it is. I do like kind of weird and new experiences like that. So Future Unfolding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Not a ringing endorsement, but you know.
All right. So next one here. This is one out of the way. Some of you guys know this game as Cybernator, but the real name is Assault Suit Valken. Retrobit. Yes, Retrobit released this game a few months back.
That. Okay.
Yeah, so now the game is in its full like English version. Nothing cut from it. It had some stuff cut from the game Cybernator, but I was surprised seeing this at Portland a little over a year ago at the previous Portland show, not the one we just went to, but the show they showed off like a mock-up of it.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, man, pretty cool collection.
They've been doing these kind of like special collector's editions of games like this, you know what I mean? So, and they do really good jobs. So
yeah, and they usually you have to pre-order to get it because like when the game comes out, they're like all sold out. So unless you go to Castlevania Games or something like that, but yeah, or find it on secondhand or eBay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to pre-order this stuff because they sell out fast. But yeah, this is cool version of the game to have.
Yeah,
it's like a run and gun mech game.
Yes,
this is kind of you see in footage here, obviously, but definitely something pretty cool on the Super Nintendo. So yeah,
interesting. Okay. All right, now come to the PS5. This also came out on Switch and a couple other systems here. This is Grime, the definitive edition from Super Rare, and this game is really cool. Basically, it's a Metroidvania slash like Souls-like game.
Oh, wait a minute, Souls-like?
Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because and I'm no expert on Souls games. However, this is a game where every single battle can potentially kill you, or every single enemy if you're not careful.
Right.
So there's a lot of blocking, dodging, that sort of stuff in this game. However, it's a real trip. Like you guys are seeing the graphics here. It's beautiful. You basically are this like rock creature, and you're kind of initially here in a subterranean area, trying to, like a Metroidvania, unlock parts of it, get to the bosses, do that sort of stuff. You know, a lot of platforming, a lot of dodging and blocking. It actually kind of reminds me of the last Metroid game that was on the 3DS. Do you remember that? Or no, it was the Switch. It was the one where you did have to do a lot of blocking.
Yeah, it was I forgot the subtitle for it just now. I don't know why.
Yeah, but it reminds me of
Dread.
that. Yeah. It's very much like, it feels to me like that.
Okay.
But if that's your jam, it's, you know, because I was actually starting to get into the rhythm for this game a little bit. And there's a bunch of upgrades and all these sort of things that you can unlock in this game. So I'm very early on into this game, but so far I'm optimistic that I'll stick with it.
Yeah, another super rare, man. They're on it, man. Look at
It's
this.
a beautiful game. Like, you look at this and you're like, okay, this is actually, it looks different than every other kind of pixel art indie game.
Right, okay.
This has a much higher, I think, production value. So, yeah.
Cool. All right, man. On it. So next game here, I don't know how to pronounce this properly, but this is AI, I guess. Let's call it that.
Weird.
This is a shoot 'em up game from Red Art Games. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I believe the game came out on PS4 and possibly Switch, but this is an updated version of it. They even say on the back, 4K and all that stuff. So
Yeah, it's got some PS5 exclusives. So
Yeah.
120 frames. Wow. Support. So if your TV supports really high frame rates.
Right.
I think that TV actually does do that. Huh. Yeah,
So very
4K.
cool. Another shoot 'em up. So happy about that. So
Dude.
Yeah.
I want to try this. I've never heard of that game.
yeah, we'll play it here. So
Okay.
yeah, good stuff.
All right, cool. Getting back to Portland. While there, I did have to check out the Champ games, and I mentioned this in the previous video where I got Tutankhamun. This is Elevator Agent, so this is their update for Elevator Action for the Atari 2600. And again, what's great about it is that they're using modern programming to really update this. Like, this looks way closer to the arcade version than the original did on the 2600.
Very cool.
And it's cool. Yeah, it's like it feels like the full game. So it's actually kind of a cool version of it. So
Right on,
it's been fun to go back to the 2600 and get some of these better versions of these games,
Definitely.
Because a lot of people complain, oh, the Atari 2600 looks so basic. Well, this is proof that they don't have to.
Right.
And so some of these developers are really pushing that hardware, which is cool.
I love the cover art.
Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? I know. Yeah, it's a good version of it.
Definitely. Right on, man. All right, so next game here, I got this at the Portland Expo recently, and this is Haunted Halloween 86.
Yes.
These games have been coming out for, I think they have a previous game before that, and they have a newer version of that game out.
Yes.
And a developer was there selling the game, and he had a bunch of other cool games there as well. But yeah, I love, that orange card is really stand out.
If I remember right, Kinsey was working with these guys for a while.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, I feel like that Kinsey had like an association with them or did their marketing or something like that for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he's got a book coming out too.
Really?
And everything. Yeah, they're on it, man. They're busy. So yeah. And like I said, I say this all the time, but I just love that we're getting like new games for retro systems. It's just outstanding. And
that's cool. Huh. Alrighty. Next up, our good friends Minibox Gaming sent this to me, and what's interesting about this is a Painkiller Hell and Damnation uncut version on the PlayStation 3. And I didn't know he was going to send this to me. I was like, dude, this is an expensive PS3 game. He's like, no. They've been somebody's been reissuing this.
Yeah, they got reprinted. Video Games Plus, I think that they're called.
Okay, yeah. I was like, dude, don't send like a super because I cut things open and I'll play them. I mean, that's what I do. So, but he knew I didn't have this in my collection. I love the Painkiller series. They're total first-person shooter, running guns, over the top. They're so much fun. They're completely brainless. They're awesome.
I wonder if anybody's still playing this online. Because this is a PS3 game, so it says 8-player online. So let me know if this game is still online, folks. Anybody's still playing it. That'd be kind of cool to know.
I need to cut it open and we'll fire up the PS3. That'd be awesome.
There you go. It's free online.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that.
Right on. So next game here, I have Ghost Chaser, translated in English for the Super Nintendo. This is a beat 'em up that came out in Japan only. It had an arcade game, which was really good, but a lot of people don't know about it. But it got an English translation, and Project Retro put it in a physical format. So happy about that. So this is a really good beat 'em up. You got a lot of moves at your arsenal. So definitely something I think a lot of people will like.
Okay, very cool. All right. Well, next up. So this was sent to me by the publisher. This is the press kit for the Monster Jam Showdown game. The reason why they sent this to me is because, one, I love Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you played those arcade games yet. They're newer arcade games for the Switch, and they're fantastic. And they did a monster truck game recently, and so they're like, "We're going to send you a press kit. So you're going home with one of these games." So they sent me the Hot Wheel or the little car, Xbox or PS4. You choose whichever one you want. Or I do have the Switch version as well.
I mean, I don't have an Xbox, so I'll go with. I mean, which one?
And a shirt. So
which one would you prefer? Because I don't mind either one. This Switch, PS5.
You know, with racing games, I do like. I want them on a faster system. So,
okay.
do you want?
I think the Switch. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, I've been playing this game, and it is super fun. So basically, again, it's a monster truck arcade racing game. The thing about monster trucks is that they control unlike any other car because the front and back wheels turn. So you can turn really sharp.
Right.
And because they're so overinflated, you bounce around all the time. So it's actually pretty fun to play these games because, man, stuff's bouncing all over the place, and you're trying to take it. You know, it's absolute chaos. So
yeah, glad I found out about this because of you, man. Yeah, I would have never known about this game.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
it's pretty cool. So check it out.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Thanks for sending the press kit. That's awesome.
And I think I am on. My last game here.
I have two more things. So
okay. Next item here is Hyper Area for Super Nintendo, translated in English. This was an OVA anime series that came out years ago. You got a Super Nintendo game. The game may feel generic to some, but I found a reason to like it, and the shoot 'em up parts are really cool in the game as well. But yeah, Hyper Area for Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Interesting. Another Project Retro game.
Okay, and then for my last two things, the last one's actually for both of us.
Oh.
Okay, but the second to last.
Whoa.
Is the System Shock
Showdown
Ultra. Well, I forget what they call this version of System Shock. I ordered this when it was a Kickstarter.
Oh. Okay.
Like, I mean, we're talking probably 5 years ago.
Oh wow.
Because I supported that. And like so long ago that they actually even changed engines and they did a whole bunch of stuff. So that's how long I've been waiting to get this.
You were on it though.
I was on it because I do love System Shock, and what's cool is it comes with a Tri-Optimum employee hand guide.
Cool.
It comes with the game. At the time I got the PC version. It's got a bunch of pins in here. It's also got some metal figures in here. And a bunch of other cool stuff.
Playing System Shock, because I played it recently on PS5, like it's a trip because you got to play that game very carefully because Showdown is watching everything you do. And if you're in a room and there's a camera in there, she'll keep sending like drones in there to kill you. You got to make sure there's no
take
cameras.
out the cameras.
Yeah, it's a trip. And if you don't, like, I forgot what you had to deactivate. You had to deactivate something. Like the robots or something like that. If you don't do it and you get killed, then she turns you into one of the robots. It's a trippy scene, like when you get turned.
It's such a cool game, and I was very happy to support this at the time. Night Dive Studios, of course, does excellent work, and I'm really excited for them to take on System Shock 2. I've mentioned this before, because that is my favorite. For many years, that was one of my favorite shooters of all time. It's just so good. And then finally, getting back to Norway, this was a gift to us from Mathis, and when I got to Norway, this was sitting in the Airbnb, and he's basically an artist.
Wow, dude! And
he's doing a tribute to you and I doing the fist bump.
Dude,
and so you look here, so we're doing it, fist bump, boom, and basically we destroy the entire house. We destroy the world.
Dude, he's even got one of my old shirts I used to wear.
Yep.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is great.
So that's going up in the game room. That's
awesome, man.
Yeah. So thank you so much for this. And
awesome, dude.
Yeah, I have to say, going to Norway, the people there were super cool. Yep. You know, just all around, it was such a great experience. So
cool.
Well, dude, another pickups in the bank, and so
very excited. So hope you guys enjoyed it as usual. We're gonna keep these coming as long as you guys love them. And I wonder what we'll do in our next pickups video. Like, what will we bring to the table?
So much. I never know.
Yeah,
I never know.
It'll be something you guys will enjoy. We promise.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Take care.